Hi guys, I'm Erin, and today I am reviewing Michelle Obama's Becoming. This is one of my absolute favorite books. I have read it multiple times and I highly recommend that you do as well, and here's why. Got my chocolate for this video as well. 12-pack of Cadbury cream eggs. I guess I should start with what the book's about. It is an autobiography, so it does cover her life from childhood, growing up in Chicago's South Side, all the way through to really when she wrote, like right before she wrote the book. And it's little bite-sized stories that all come together to form one big story about her life and who she is and what she values. It is not very political at all. It's really well set up for those people that tend to stray away from politics or aren't very interested. I personally am interested in politics, but I'm just saying it's very good for even those who aren't interested in politics. Because it's not so much about the political events and things that are happening themselves, but more her experience living through them. So, for example, if she's talking about a political rally, she's not going to be talking about the content of the rally, the content of the speech, anything like that. She'll be talking about how her feet were cold, and she really wished that they had warmed the entire backstage area, or about how she had to hold her daughter's hand to make sure, that she didn't trip, things like that. So it's an interesting look at these events that we see on TV, but a lot of us aren't experiencing it there in person, and then we absolutely are not experiencing it from backstage, from the way that she is experiencing it. So it's a completely different take on things that we've lived through, but just seeing it from such a different angle. The book is very fast-paced, which is another thing that I like about Becoming. You don't feel like you're listening to somebody's entire life story. It goes by very quickly. It's little bite-sized pieces all put together, and it feels so honest. She doesn't stray away from difficult topics. So she talks about miscarriage. She talks about infertility, going to marriage counseling with Barack, which is just so interesting to think that the president had to go to marriage counseling. You just don't think about that for one of our political leaders. So she talks very open and honestly about really tough issues. So it just comes across as very authentic. If she's willing to talk about those types of topics, then she's willing to talk to you about anything. It just feels like you're sitting down at dinner with her. And who doesn't want to go to dinner with Michelle Obama? Like, come on. One of the things that she talks about through the book is, am I good enough? She addresses that question through multiple stories. And she talks about how she just goes through life checking off boxes. And she had her trajectory, and she just stuck to it, and she turned out not to be happy in her career, and she never felt good enough. So that's a very relatable thing to discuss, because I'm sure so many of us feel that way. I felt that way before, so I'm sure many of you have as well. So it's just interesting to see somebody who went to Harvard, was a successful lawyer, was First Lady of the United States, did all these incredible things, and she still doubts herself. So just so many of us do, and that's natural. So it's kind of nice to see. Another thing that stood out to me from the book was her mother. Her mother is just incredible. I almost want to just go to dinner with her instead of Michelle Obama. Because her mother, one of the lines that stuck out to me was, she said about her kids, they're not special. Michelle isn't special. There's a whole bunch of kids in Chicago's South Side who are, very talented, creative, just as amazing as they are. So they're not special. And I thought that was a really good message, that there are so many kids that their potential just isn't reached because they don't have the support system that Michelle Obama had. It doesn't mean that she's any better than them. She's not. So she also talks about cheers, by the way, if you're also eating chocolate. She also talks about work-life balance and what it's like to want to have a career and also to have a family, which is also very relatable for so many of us. I actually, the first time I read this book was before I became a parent. And now that I am a parent and I just reread the book, I got such a different message from the book, and I related to her story in a completely different way. So if you are a new parent and you've read this book already, read it again because you'll definitely get something different from it. One thing that did surprise me about this book is just how much detail they gave you about the White House. I didn't think that that would be allowed, if that makes sense, because they talk about security and the bulletproof windows, and I just think, isn't that a lot of detail about, you know, our White House? I don't know. I guess not. I guess it's all fine. I guess it's public knowledge. But and then she also talks a lot about other details, just like, you know, the decorating budget that the new family has moving in, which is $100,000. Crazy. The only thing I didn't like about the book was towards the end she talks about Donald Trump, and I really just wanted her to tear him apart. Because she talks about how he put her family in danger by what he was saying and what he was doing. And I just really wanted her to go, ah! But she doesn't. She is just so calm, and she really just dismisses him by just saying, I'll never forgive him. So I kind of wanted a little bit more of her feelings towards what was happening, but maybe that would have gotten too political and she didn't want to do that. But I guess it is a good thing that she didn't, because he would have liked to have been the center of attention. So, Michelle Obama, purse so heavy, getting Oprah dollars. 5 out of 5 recommend this book, and I absolutely recommend that you listen to this book rather than read it. If you're not sure which method you'd like to do, listen to it. It is read by Michelle Obama, so it does really, you really do feel her emotion behind the words when she's speaking. So get it on Audible. Are you filming? Yeah, I'm still filming. I'm eating a cream egg. My one recommendation is that you do listen to this book fully alone or fully with somebody else, because my husband Joe kept coming into the room and asking me to rewind because he had missed part of the story, and I had to have to go back and rewind the book. So just a note that if you have other people around, they will get hooked and you will have to rewind. So just start either fully alone or fully with someone. So this was quite a short review, just to tell you a little bit about the book and to encourage you to pick it up and take a read. So I hope you enjoy. Bye guys.